Yo, what's happening? It's your boy Jesimein, and here I am with some nice little Manhunt gameplay for you guys. My boy Barcode, Pickle, and Mike, we were taking on the server. You know how we do, just having a little fun and easy, enjoying it before the next patch comes out. You know, we got a couple weeks till it comes out. We're just having a little fun. But back on the real note, I made this video today because I want to address something that people have been talking about and have been storming around. It's the fact that why is this community so toxic, and why is there so many issues, and why is there so many egotistical type people in this community? And I feel the reason is because we are thrown into a game where your creativity is limited, because there's certain things in this game that you kind of have to use in order to be successful. You know, people are going to exploit it in a way that you can't control regardless, being that there's sentries call, being that there's reclaimer, being that there's mobile cover, being that there's sticky bombs. There's just things you have to worry about when you're trying to be creative and when you're trying to have fun, that it limits you. It limits you to having to stoop to it in a sense. So I think one of the problems is it's the fact that we get freedom to do that, and as a community, I guess we've decided what's bad and what's not bad. Like shotguns are bad in the overall eyes because they're broken. Sticky bomb is bad because it's running around in circles. And it seems like the only thing that's accepted is submachine guns, and I understand why. It's totally fair. I feel submachine guns take a lot more skill than shotguns. I mean, obviously, that's without a doubt. I'm not saying I hate shotguns. I love shotguns. Shotguns are working how they're supposed to work. If you're up close, I feel you should get shredded. That's how it is. But the fact that there is no other options, like there's not an assault rifle that can melt a shotgun from far away if you get in mid-range or the long range, or there's not a marksman rifle that would just tear you up if your accuracy is like on point, and there's not like, you know, there's no other options that work how they're supposed to work, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's where the problem is, and I think a lot of people forget that in a game where you're so limited, what's gonna be nice is the stuff that works. And right now, shotguns work. You are two pumping people, you are one tapping people, you are running through teams, not having to worry about your health, because if, like I said, you pop an overhill and you go and pop shot somebody and you get them, they're instantly down if you catch them slipping, because they're all trying to focus you and whatnot. So I think when you mix that with the idea that you're like a god because you have a shotgun, you have these egotistical people who believe that they're the best at the game because of that. You know, and it's not even the player that's dangerous. It's the build. It's the weapon. The weapon is dangerous. You can put an amazing shotgun in anybody's hands, and all I have to do is aim and shoot. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's other aspects. There's movement, and then there's ammo. There's like ammo coverage, and then there's like making sure that you stay alive in a sense, and that you pop your med kits and your heals. Yes, there's stuff like that, but for the most part, like I said, it's based off of the aim assist that us console players are blessed with. That kind of makes it easy for us. You feel me? And I think that people who go around the DZ talking trash and feeling like they're above everybody else are the people who have successful shotgun builds. And like I said, I truly have nothing against the shotgun meta. I mean, a meta is a meta. Whether I like it or not, there's always going to be something broken in every game. And in a game like this, it comes in waves. If shotguns aren't broken, subs going to be broken. If subs going to be broken, assault rifles. Whatever they choose to buff or nerf, that's not our choice. I mean, we can say what we want. You know, we could put in our 2 cents at it and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's based off of what they create as broken or not. Because the first thing that we find that works, we're going to use off tops. If LMGs are melting people next meta, everybody's going to use the LMG. And all of a sudden, everybody's going to say LMGs are bad because that's the majority of people are using. And I think people forget that aspect of the game, being that, yeah, you can run with an MP7. I have a pretty successful MP7 build. I think my MP7 build is elite, in my opinion. But when you're going against a server of full two-tapping shotgun people, like, you don't have the freedom to be able to stream your bullets onto somebody without getting destroyed. And I think that's why so many players shy away from just running around with subs, unless you're in a really, really good team and you're just melting people. But I think that's why shotguns are so frowned upon, because last meta, shotguns still hit hard. They didn't hit as hard as that, but if you had a sentry shotgun back then, it still hit, and people didn't realize it. But the fact now that everybody's using it, I think it became an issue. Just like in the old days with the AUG. Now the AUG's garbage. The AUG was amazing because you had a broken aspect to it, which was sentry. Once they fixed that, people moved to the next powerful thing. and their egos went with them. Because now with this specific meta, I believe this is probably the worst and the lowest the community will get as far as egotistical type people, because the shotguns are just absolutely out of line. The fact that you can one-shot somebody with full mitigation and full health is discouraging, and I think people don't want to enjoy the game when they have to worry about that. Like the anxiety of knowing, like, okay, yeah, some people's shotguns might be bad, but when the server eventually comes, somebody's gonna come with that decent shotgun build and just destroy everything. You know what I'm saying? And when you throw smart cover and you throw reclaimer and you throw a full pulse and you throw all these shock turrets and all these other variables into it, you have a real issue on your hands, especially if you're a submachine gun user. So it makes sense why everybody is on shotguns, because you have to protect yourself. And it's like, if you can't beat them, join them type mentality. And don't get me wrong, there are some amazing sub players out there. I know a lot of sub players out there that can probably take out most shotgunners. You know what I'm saying? I mean, based off of sheer just skill, like true skill over them, yeah, of course. But build versus build, it doesn't work like that. The time it takes for you to kill with an MP7 will never catch up to a shotgun. It just won't. And as much as you want it to, as much as your MP7 melts, you will never get an opportunity so clean unless they completely stand still to melt somebody. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is pop you, move, pop you, and that's it. It's game over. And when you throw in the variable of Sentry's Call, which is the bane of shotgun existence and possibly the worst and most hated gear set of all time, when you throw that into a shotgun build, you have issues. You know what I'm saying? When you see tags over your head, all of a sudden your whole gameplay style changes, and all of a sudden that person with the Sentry feels as if they basically own you in that sense. They basically control what you are doing. And it seems like, my personal experience, I feel like Sentry Call users are the most talkative ones. They are the most egotistical and cocky ones, because they know what their build can do, and they know how crazy it is and how powerful it is, and how you can just take out, you don't have to worry about nobody else's build unless it's another Sentry, because you know, I don't care what health you have, I'm taking it off. And I think when you have that much power in a game where it can be completely unfair, you start talking, you start getting cocky, and you start becoming an egotistical maniac, and all of a sudden we have a community full of them, because that's all that's working. I think that Massive should realize that this community is kind of going on a downhill, only because it's full of people who are just looking out to expose people. It's full of people who are just talking crazy, being racist, using crazy slander, doing whatever they can to piss the other player off, clapping over their body, talking trash, you know what I'm saying, dissing and all this stuff involved around shotguns, because that's all they have to do. All they have to do is one shot, two shot, gone, and then talk trash. And when you have a team doing that, it's just like, hey, we're going to be the best in the server. You can't do nothing about it. We're going to talk trash about you. You're trash because you don't have a build like us. End of story. We don't care if you're a full-time working parent. We don't care if you're a student. We don't care if whatever you're dealing with, that you don't have half the time to commit to the game like I did, or like anybody else who puts real time into the game, 50, 60, 70 days played and whatnot. People lose that insight, and they lose that understanding that it's just a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a video game. And you may be a 18 or 19-year-old dude who has the time to put in every day after school or before school or whatever, to put in, and you're playing an entire world of people with different lives, and you think that you're just a better player because your build's better. No, that's where the issues happen. And then we have the people who are super leaderboard chasers on Division Tracker, and they feel like because I'm up there, I'm the best player in the world. Like, if I'm number 8 for rogue kills, I'm one of the best players in the game because I have that many rogue kills. When in reality, I mean, it doesn't even line up right, because I can be Manhunt 24/7 and not get rogue kills because everybody's trying to kill me, and I can have triple the kills you have, but it doesn't matter because leaderboard tracker only gets rogue kills, and there's so many variables in rogue kills. You can literally you can sit there and camp a server until somebody goes rogue and kill them, and end up being just as high as somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You could have camped the whole sticky bomb era and literally wipe rogues all day, every day, and stack your rogue kills. That's why I don't take the Division Tracker literally that seriously, and does not measure your skill level. And I think a lot of people who believe that they're the best players, quote unquote, are those who chase that leaderboard, and they flaunt that like it's some achievement of like like status. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you have to respect me because I'm up here. No, it doesn't work like that. And also, I think a lot of people lose the insight that this game is not competitive. This is not a competitive video game. This is an RPG PvE/PvP game. This is not Call of Duty. This is not Counter-Strike. This is not Dota or League of Legends. This is not none of those games where the game is based off of sheer strategy and sheer hardcore skill. No, this game is built off of partial luck because you don't control what builds you get. You just play a lot until you get something that works. Partial knowledge of rolling, and the fact that the game's just broken in the last place. Like, that's what it's based off of. It's based off of who uses the more broken thing. You know what I'm saying? And then we have this little sub-community, which is literally ironic. It's literally called the sub-community because there's some machine gun people who still want to keep the skill aspect of the game. So they build some machine gun builds to keep, keep a level-headed. Oh, I'm the best submachine gun, so that means I'm the best player because that's the hardest to use in a sense that I'm not running around with a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? So we have those players who believe that if you're not using submachine gun, you're just a bad player, which is also a very, very wrong way of thinking. I think people don't understand that if you want to use something in a game, it's not your fault that it's broken. There's people who've been playing shotguns in many other games, and it just so happens shotguns are insanely OP in this game. But why would an average player put a shotgun down when they can compete with the top players in the game idealistically just because they're using a shotgun? Why would they put it down? Why would they make themselves get melted more and more by putting on a sub just to save face that's not even going to be saved? Because even if you drop them, they're going to come back out and drop you eventually, and all of a sudden you got a trash talk fest. And I think that's where the issues stack because people just want the revenge factor. You clap over somebody's body, I'm coming back out and I'm bodying you. That's the mindset that triggers people. Or if somebody says you're trash when they kill you with like 5v1 or something, that triggers you too. And it's like a million triggers that piss people off, and it just keeps this cycle of just hatred, and it's like cycle of like egotistical, you suck and I'm gonna prove it like this type mentality, So if you guys ask my personal opinion on it, I feel in order for them to fix that type of like atmosphere, they're gonna need to eliminate the OP factor. And what I mean by OP factor, the fact that people can really exploit something so easily. And in this sense, sticky bomb, like, because I was a sticky bomber, I believe that I was one of the original sticky bombers, and I know how broken it was. So I know better than to go around and talk trash because I know it was broken. They need to not have stuff like that. And I know it's hard, and I understand. And I bet that it's probably the most irritating thing in the world to them, knowing that if they fix one thing, it breaks another. Because if they take away shotguns, there's going to be something that everybody hitches to, because there's always going to be the best at something, especially at a game like this. There's always going to be a best build. There's always going to be a most dominant build. It's always going to be like that, no matter what. So people don't understand that's how the game's going to be, and this is how these type of games are. This isn't a regular shooter. This isn't like Call of Duty where it's obligated to be fair. No, this game is based off of time put in by grinding and builds. That's it. It's not the player that's deadly. It's the build. Yes, you can integrate movement. Yes, you can integrate accuracy. Yes, you can integrate knowing when to pop your heals. You can integrate all that. But the general overview is it's build versus build. Because if you give me a super amazing build and I play decent, you, with the person with the less optimal build, has to play 20 times harder, because they're either going to get melted really fast, they're going to run out of ammo because they can't kill the other person. It's just so many things that go into it. And I just feel that the community needs to come together and stop trying to bash each other for these things that we can't control as a community. So, yes, shotguns are OP. Yes, they're terrible to fight against. But you cannot hate a player for using them when everybody in the entire game is using them. There are select few who just run subs. I run all builds, and I still run a shotgun because I know what I'm dealing with when an entire server is trying to target me with shotguns. You have to defend yourself. And I think people just lose the aspect of understanding that this game will never, ever have true balance, because it's not designed like that. The only way it can be true balance is if everybody's stats are the same. And if we had that, people will complain, because it's not fun to not be OP. People love being OP. You love having an advantage over people. So why would you get rid of that? So I just ask you guys, as a community, for those who have so much hatred, when you catch yourself talking trash to somebody for using something, or you catch yourself talking trash while you're using something, try to stop that, man. Try to chill out and try to breathe and try to enjoy the game for what it is. And let's try to bring this game back to what the potential is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? This is one of the best games of all time, in my opinion, and I don't want to see it crash because of us, you know what I'm saying? Because of how we make players feel. You want to sign on to this game and have fun, not have to worry about arguing, you feel me? But, you know, I just want to get this off my chest to y'all. It's been real. If you guys have any questions, what do you guys think they should do for the community? What do you think they should do to change this issue that we have with egos and with exposed videos and with trash talk and all this negativity? I just feel like we should come together and end this, bro. It's been real. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I am out.
Warning. Agent on your team is down. Requires assistance.